What's up, guys? Today we're going to be building a 5-inch Volador dead cat. Got a frame here. This is going to be Bo's build, and I want to apologize for any mess you might see on my table in this video, because I have built about 6 quads in the last 2 weeks down here on this table and worked on them, and so it's kind of messy. But like I say, this is a 5-inch dead cat design Volador frame. He's going to be using a Vifly Finder Mini in it. Lost model alarm. We're going to be putting a Flywoo GM10 GPS in it. We're going to be using the the RCN Power Major Wasp 22.6 by 6.5 1860 kV motors, the gold ones. And for the flight controller and ESC, we're going with Meps stuff. So this will be also a review or a installation video, I guess, because I can't. He uses. We're also going to be putting this Radio Master Express LRS in there, and I don't fly Express LRS. I fly XM Plus FrSky. So I won't be able to test the quad out, so I'll just have to do an installation video of these. Pretty soon I'll be getting some stuff like this for Meps though to review, but I'm doing this I'm going to be making installation video like this for Meps, sending it to them since I'm affiliated with them. So guys, if these parts here are any good, or as good as their other parts I've been reviewing, this quad should fly great. Usually Bo goes with T-motor stuff, but I told him their Meps parts was just as good, if not better, than the T-motor stuff. And I swear, guys, when you plug your flight controller up to Betaflight or your ESC in the BL Heli Suite, they both say they're T-motor stuff, or they got T-motor firmware on them. So I guess Mepsking is kind of, I don't know if they're, got T-motor stuff or what, but they're good parts, guys. I promise you. And they're no more expensive than anybody else. But what he's going with here is the this is the 30 by 30. Let me find where it says here. This is the 30 by 30 SZ60 amp 6S 4-in-1 ESC, and this is the 30 by 30 SZ F7 HD flight controller. He will be putting a DJI 03 air unit and all that in here, but I won't be doing that. All I'll be doing is building out the quad to the point to where he can put his camera and air unit in it and go fly it. That's the way I build them for him. And so let's get started, guys. Alright guys, the first thing we're going to be doing is soldering up the Meps 30 by 30 60 ESC. I love the way these pads solder up on these Meps parts, man. The flight controllers and the ESCs, they just solder up so nice. Very nice. Okay guys, see how I did that? See how nice? And you'll watch it just slips on here, and then it just kind of goes right down in that little slot. Perfect. Now the wires will have to come up right beside the capacitor, and they run right through this hole back here, and then they go to this little plug in here that goes right here. Alright, now to hook up the power wires. The hot wire. And there's the ground wire. See that, guys? You see how I had to run the wires out the back here? And then they'll have to go up through there and to this plug. That's so we can get the O3 air unit back here. We will also be running our antenna and all back into through here, and wires for the Radio Master Express LRS. And it's got a little holder that goes here that holds the GPS back here. Okay guys, that's all wired in. Now I don't know if you can see it through there, but the capacitor is right in there, and that there's a little cutout in there for it. Alrighty guys, we got our motors put on. Bo likes to use these little connectors here in between the motors, so we quick change motors. So that's what we'll be doing next. I'll be soldering those in and soldering it up to the ESC. So that's what we're going to do next. Alrighty guys, there we have it. We've got the ESC on and all wired up, and the motor's on and all wired up. Everything looks pretty sweet, I'd have to say. Nice and neat. Gonna be a very good looking build. Next thing we're gonna do is put our flight controller on and figure out our GPS and an HGLRS receiver, and we'll go from there. Okay guys, now we're going to wire up the receiver here. Ground goes to ground. 5-volt goes to 5-volt. And then let me see here. The TX wire is yellow, so it's got to go to the R. I'm going to put it on R4 and T4 both, so you know. And the white RX wire goes to the TX4 on the flight controller. Got that. And I'll turn it this way. That's the way I designed it. This is right. Now this one, bow on the board alignment, it's normal. We didn't swap the board around backwards like we did on the Tanq and the other one, so build. So you won't have to turn nothing 180 degrees on it in beta flight. Just use normal settings. All right. Let's see here. Next thing we're going to do is put on the lost model alarm. So we need to find that. Okay, guys, on the lost model alarm, you got a 5-volt, a minus, a 5-volt, a ground, and a buzzer minus. So we're soldering up the buzzer minus pad, 5-volt pad, and the ground pad. So the ground wire go to ground. The red 5-volt wire go to 5-volt. And then the yellow wire is the buzzer minus wire. So it goes to buzzer minus. Now we'll take some double-sided sticky tape. sure you don't hit it on the button that turns it off. This thing has a button also. It also turns off by just plugging and unplugging the flight controller for 3 seconds. But we're going to make sure we're not mashing the button. After we get it going, try it out. Alright, all we got left to do now is the GPS. So I got to put this little holder on. I'll be right back. Okay guys, now we're wiring up the compass. You got a ground, black goes to ground. And then you got 5 volt, red goes to that. Then your white wire on the compass is your TX wire. So brother, we're putting it on R2 and T2. So the white wire goes to R2. And then the yellow wire is the RX wire, so it goes to the T2. Had 2 wires left, brother, the SD and something else I forget. I don't think we usually hook them up. And I'm going to leave them hanging here. You can chop them off, do whatever you want to with them. Let's see, we got the buzzer in, we got the compass on, we've got our antenna in there, our receiver in, got the ESC wired up, motors. All we got to do is put the screws on. I guess we're ready to test it. See if we're going to get our beeps and see if anything blows up. So, let's do that. Here goes nothing, guys. Hope for the best. Yep, everything seems to work. I'm going to see if our little lost model alarm works when we unplug it. Let it charge up a minute. Buzzer's working great. So guys, I guess that's about as far as we can go with it. I'll put the top plate on and all, but you don't need to see that. Guys, if you want to see this thing fly, you'll have to wait a couple of weeks, and I'll leave a link to Bo's channel down in the description. His channel is called Mountaineer FPV. So I'll leave a link to it down below. You can go and check out him flying this thing in a couple of weeks and see what you think. I guarantee you it's going to fly great though. These Meps parts are awesome. I can't test it out here because he uses a different radio length than I do. So anyway, Mepsking, born for control. Get you some Meps parts, guys, and find that control like we have. All the links to these Meps, to this 60 amp ESC and this F7 flight controller 30x30 stack will be down in the description below. If you want links to any of these other parts, I'm sorry, but I'm not affiliated with them, and so I'm not gonna do that. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll catch you on the next one.